Hello, and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave, and I will be your keeper of arcane lore for this session of Call of Cthulhu. Welcome back to the new year and all the horror and humor it brings. There we go. We are jumping back into our Two-Headed Serpent campaign this week as we continue our adventures in Bingham, Oklahoma. So we're going to be streaming each Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific during our normal slot until the dreaded time zones reapproach. And all of our videos are going to be going straight up onto the YouTube in the coming week. So make sure to check out the content there. We are not launching back into our RuneQuest campaign just yet, but keep an eye out. We'll find something for that time slot very, very soon. I'd like to thank Roll20 and Sirenscape for being tools which we use to improve our game. And without further ado, it's been long enough. Let's jump back into some nonsense with everyone introducing their investigators and starting with Art.
Hi, I'm Art. What are we doing?
Call of Cthulhu.
No, I'm kidding. Hi, I'm Art. I play Lieutenant Ares Carter, who is a femme fatale ex-military officer, who just dad of group. That's probably the easiest way to describe it at this point. Just dad. Just make sure everyone, doesn't skin their knees too bad. But if they do, send them off to someone else to be dealt with, because I don't want to deal with that shit.
How have you dealt with being in a hot tin can roaring around the desert for 8 hours?
What do you mean, how have I dealt with it? I'm military.
Yep.
Hot tin can is sort of most of what things are contained in, whether that be bullets, explosives, or people.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, well, up next, Jackson.
Hey, that's
the mum
me,
of the
I'm
group.
Jackson.
Who fixes people?
Well, yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah. I'm Dr. Sam's just here to help. Good vibes only. He'll put a band-aid on your knee and give you a kiss on the forehead when you need it, and that's what he's going to do.
How's mum feeling about one of their children stomping off into a cave with a bunch of strangers to worship a god?
It'll well, as long as she doesn't jump off any bridges because her friends did, it'll be fine. I think she's got a good head and her shoulders.
Yeah.
And everything will be okay. It did occur to me that we've run into the problem in previous chapters of not being able to have good communication on the ground. So we solved it by investing in some radios, which are now sitting half disassembled in my hotel room back in town. Because I tried to turn them into a tracking device on the first night here and didn't put them back together again.
I think the flying machine has its own radio in it, but you definitely, neither of the others, neither Hubert nor Minnie, will have anything on them. Especially because Hubert has basically abandoned everything to go stomping through the desert. I guess now's a good time then. The tracker extraordinaire.
Speaking of stomping through the desert.
Yeah, that's it.
Stomping through the desert. That's me. I am playing Hubert Smith. I am a big-hearted and just generally big man who is fond of using his enormous strength to try and defend the people that he cares for, one of whom is inside or about to be inside that dang cave.
Yeah. So, and you're currently scrambling up, not even scrambling, heroically heaving yourself up the rock face undetected, prepared to launch yourself forward. I guess you guys don't have a means of communication. Are you waving towards the people in the sky, or is this, you're going to have to improvise?
I think that it's a lot of improvisation, but I think that Hubert's plan always was to improvise, so therefore it doesn't really, there's some loops here. I don't think he's fully realized the severity of this situation or any in his life previous to this.
It's like looking at the motivational message you keep in your pocket. It just says, wing it. You go, very good.
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
coming together. All right, and finally, and in the most trouble, Alex.
Yeah, speaking of winging it, I am Alex and I'm playing Wilhelmina St. Clair, who up until this point has just been happy to be here. Less happy now. This cave kind of sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
The last 8 hours have really sucked. I'm tired, I'm sore, my lips are chapped. I hate it when my lips are chapped. I don't have any water. I do have a bit of booze, though. So after pushing my way through the blasting wind trying to keep me out of the cave, I think I'll probably just have a nip of that.
Just a little nip from a flask hidden in your pocket. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Just what you need when you're going in to face something unknowable that's been whispering in your ear for who knows how long. Okay. All right, so to set the scene once more, Minnie has traipsed out into the desert under the direction of the Reverend Cornfield and his, I guess, goon, the lumberjack gentleman, George Henson, and with the sheriff, who is one of his devotees and has finally been offered this passage out, this sort of rite of ascension through the cult ranks. You have marched out through the desert for basically an entire day under the heaving sun. You've taken no provisions with you, and you have slowly boiled yourself until finally arriving at the cave. Of your comrades on this journey, the lumberjack and the reverend have handled it very well. They've done this before, it seems, and they are suited to the climate. The sheriff has handled this remarkably poorly, and it's actually kind of only through your own sort of pausing and helping that he's even made it to the cave. Once you've finally arrived, a foul wind has blasted forth from the entrance. It's sort of a dark crack in the earth, and as it swallowed you and threatened to send you heaving off the side of a ravine, you heard the whispering of Yig offering you power if you would only promise yourself to them, which you thought was a bad go. Yeah, you were able to force yourself forward and into the cave, and just as Minnie steps inside and weaves through the cracks and after the others, we're going to return to our others in the sky or on the ground as they, unsure of what will happen to Minnie down below, will need to put their plan into action. First, can I get Lieutenant Carter, Dr. Sam, and Mr. Smith to all make constitution rolls? This is for your day in the desert, and the penalties will not be as severe as Minnie because you were able to bring provisions. Although Hubert did spend half of his traipsing after it because he lost his horse. Gave up his horse.
Now, that said, I also have my pulp talent, which allows me to roll all constitution checks with a bonus die.
Oh,
so
that's right.
This will factor in here.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Yep.
Nice.
Great. Oh,
well done. Okay. Take a bonus anyway, in case it's a 4, which would still be cool. Okay, terrific. Now, Dr. Sam, are you interested in staying 9 points here, or?
Enjoy these 9 points of luck. I made them just
Thank
for you.
Thank you very much. All right. With that in mind, all of you are handling it well enough. I'll pass it off to the three of you then. What do you wish to do? Knowing that Carter and Sam, you can speak freely and you can sort of weave around. You've got an eyeline on Smith. You know where he is, and he's spotted the cave that Minnie's gone into, but you can't talk directly. What would the three of you like to do?
Our best.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Let's build off that foundation.
I feel like there's a discussion that we should have over whether or not we're going to stay skyborne or whether landing needs to happen at some point. As in,
We don't know that Hubert's been spotted, do we?
No. I think all we know is that we can see Mr. Smith and Miss Sinclair's disappeared. Well, we're not familiar. We don't know that she's gone into a cave, but like there's no reason currently for us to land, essentially.
Well, Smith was tracking her, and Hubert, you've seen her go up and go down, and there's been no immediate return. You were able to wave down. You all have the information that Minnie has gone down into the cave. Okay. What you don't know is how long this is going to be. You don't know if it pops out somewhere else. You've effectively lost her at this point.
I'll speak for Hubert then, because Hubert's not going to be able to communicate with anybody.
That's fair.
I am going to climb up this rock face. I'm going to get to the entrance of the cave, and I'm just going to head straight inside. I'm going to be a little sneaky. I think in Hubert's mind, they've all walked in, and they're either continuing on another path that he will follow, or they've, hit a serpent person, like, pyramid or something underground.
Yeah.
And are about to be descending into that.
Okay.
So Hubert's going to creep after them and just keep doing his thing.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So Hubert is heading further forward. Lieutenant Carter and Dr. Sam.
Well, I guess we just got to keep on flying until we see where they got to, right?
That's the vibe I'm getting. Is currently
you know where
it makes...
you know where the cave is. You know where they're going to
Yeah.
next, but you guys can remain in aerial mode.
Oh, we know about the cave?
Yes.
The vibe that I would be getting is like, currently this is bad, but Hubert is on the ground and has managed to go after, which means that Minnie's not entirely alone. I think it's worth doing a once round like pass of the area to see if we can find like another exit to this thing.
Okay.
Just get an idea of whether there are any other, ways that they could get out,
Cool.
or whether this is it. And then if we find no others, then we can reevaluate whether landing is the right option or whether we just keep doing bird's eye view pew if necessary.
Okay. Too easy.
Yeah, good to. We'll take some time, look for a good landing spot, and keep an eye out for any giant holes in the ground that these folks are keen on digging.
Okay, sounds great. You can definitely spot. So there are, there's ravines and little like rocky cliff faces and things all about this area. Anywhere else in the desert, landing is going to be a breeze. Directly on top of this cave site, it's quite difficult. But if you want to touch down elsewhere, you can then make your ascent. But you guys can provide aerial support for the time being, weaving around and trying to get a look at things. So we'll park the two of you up there then. As Hubert, you hoist yourself back up and begin to pull yourself forward. There's a number of like cracks in the ground and sudden uprise that you can kind of keep low under and avoid being seen as you head towards the cave entrance. This whole area is very silent, almost dead of life. And there's only this faint wind that just as you pull yourself over the final section and begin to head towards the cave, suddenly picks up into an uproar. It hits you full in the chest and catching your clothes like a sail. Suddenly you're almost buffeted backwards. And underneath all of it, you can hear a whisper that goes straight through your ears and into your brain, wraps around it and squeezes tight. It is in Narcal. You would immediately recognize it, but there's an English undertone to all of it, or something that anyone would understand. Even Hubert in his, I think, what was your alter ego at the moment? We'll still recognize it in Spanish as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is the father of serpents, Yig, demanding your service and promising you power if you will give yourself towards him. You are fully pushed back. You can feel small peppers of rocks and sand blasting across your skin. And how do you respond?
Okay. First of all, I can't get blown away, so I've got to anchor myself. I'm going to grab a hold of something and I'm going to plant myself and resist this. I'm not giving in to the snakes. That's what they always tell you. You need to read the fine print.
There's always another cost to pay. So you instead plant your feet, turn yourself sideways a little bit to let some of it slip past you and try and heave forward. You can either give me a strength roll or a climb roll to try and bring yourself towards the edge of the cave, dragging your feet with every step.
All right. I will give you a strength roll. Here you
Okay,
go.
go ahead.
That's a hard success.
Okay, and a hard success is, let me just check what didn't require an extreme. A hard success is what you need. So you get blasted by these rocks, peppered backwards, plant your feet and heave yourself further forward until suddenly it cuts off as if you've pushed through to the other side of a membrane, and you can see the cave now jutted up before you. It's taken a little bit to make the ascent and actually push forward to this bit. You're not sure how far forward Minnie is, but you have reached the entrance and you can now pull yourself forward into the suddenly much cooler darkness on the other side.
Second thing, I need to get some kind of message to the others.
Okay.
And without much thought on how to do that, I kind of glance around. I need them to know that if there's narcal going on here, this is more serious. This is the spot. So
There's a bird nearby. What's the latest on Lancet?
There is a bird
Yes,
nearby.
exactly.
He was following the ground crew fairly close, or somewhat at a small distance.
That's
I
true.
believe.
Lancet is going to be almost incapable of approaching the cave. You probably, as you get here, Hubert, and look around at Lancet,
Right.
will see him just whip
Without
across,
being
and suddenly
spotted.
when the wind hits him, his lighter form is just completely
Oh,
buffeted
really?
away.
Yeah.
But also his strong devotion, Lancet will never give in to Yig. He will never accept that bargain.
Oh, that's good.
Good to hear.
Without many other options, I think what I do is I take off my large cowboy hat, and then I frisbee it into the wind, and I'm going to try and like throw a couple of
Yeah,
clothes
that's
that I
great.
reckon will get pretty buffeted to try and like, look, there's something happening. Kind of just same as like flinging your shirt out a window.
Yeah, I
except,
love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Enrico would be so proud of you.
I know, right? And they're sizable articles of clothing. You know?
Anyone would
It's-
see them throughout Oklahoma. Okay, can you give me a spot hidden roll as you do this, James? And I'm going to ask you to do this with a penalty dice.
Certainly. Spot hidden, failure, and more failure.
Okay, so as you whip your hat across and then toss your jacket towards it to get caught up with the wind, it begins to spiral up and away. And just as it's teetering up and you see the plane roaring around, there's suddenly a crack of a gunshot from somewhere behind you. You feel an impact in the back of your body, and as you turn around, Carter and Sam, you can see Hubert down in the entrance. Just as you wheel around, you can see Red beginning to pull from his back as he turns towards something in the cave that has just attacked him. We're going to leave the three of you there for the moment as we go back across to Minnie.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
What? You got a little
These
bit...
guys didn't. Yeah, I know you guys. You guys didn't get to do your fly roundy thing.
Looking for no, not that. I posted something in chat and I came back to paying attention when I was like, and blood. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Fair.
I tuned out at large clothing going into the sky, and I
oh,
tuned
yeah,
back
and then
in
it
at
was
It was a
being
pretty short
shot.
turnaround.
I've been
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, I mean that was
cool.
oh mate who posted himself at the entrance at the end of last.
Oh, for
God,
sure.
I mean, yeah, I put two and
Good.
two together. I just kind of had a moment where I was like, did I miss? I didn't think my brain was that bad today, but apparently it is. That's fine. Did we get a chance to do a flyby and check for other entrances, or is this all happening very quickly?
Hubert, it was quite quick. We'll have you do some rolls as we come back to it to see if you've spotted anything. But at this point, on the inside, a little bit ago, Minnie, as you push past this roaring wind and head into the entrance, it immediately cuts off, and you are surrounded by cool, dark earth. This is a black slice taken out of the rock, and you can immediately see that it hits a tight squeeze where the two sides push tightly together, and you'd have to sort of drag yourself through it. On the inside, the sheriff is embracing. The Reverend is embracing the sheriff, who's like blistered and weeping skin is being sort of massaged by the Reverend, and almost as if he's like, wiping tears away from a child as just liquid comes out of him in torrents. He's pushing the skin back, and where it's like being held against it, it's taut, but as soon as he releases it, it drops down as if this man is covered in like a plastic grocery bag of his own skin, but he seems to be standing on his own strength now, and he's holding the Reverend tightly, and you can hear him weeping, full body like sobs as he cries into the Reverend's shoulder. But the Reverend's going, "It's okay, you're here now. It's just the beginning of your new life. Come with me.
Now he can stand.
See what you have done." And then he sees you come in, Minnie, as well, and he holds out a hand and he says, "Sister, we're here."
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop to my knees as though, that was the biggest ordeal that I've ever been through. Oh my God, I've heard something. I've seen something. It's amazing. Kind of turning away and take a big swig of my booze.
Okay,
Gonna spend 5 luck and use my talent to avoid the effects of booze.
I'm first going to get you to make a sleight of hand roll, because
Correct.
not only do you need to sneak this from them, but
Sorry,
also,
what?
God damn it, but also you needed to smuggle this on the trip because you're not allowed to have any provisions. So what's the point? All right. Yeah, the hidden canister. I love. Sorry. Minnie is told that you can bring no rations or anything. Any other character would have tried to sneak in some water so they can survive the voyage. Minnie has tried to bring in some hard liquor.
I mean,
like a
believe it or
20-year-old at a
not,
festival.
alcohol is also not allowed in most libraries. So
And yet here
She's
we
got
are.
practice.
I mean, the undergarments in this era, it's,
It's communion wine.
just straight down the bra.
Minnie, how?
Hey, nobody checking there.
What is the mechanic of your luck spend?
My trait is iron liver. I can spend 5 luck to avoid the effects of drinking.
Okay, that rules. So, how much would you like to drink?
All of it. Enough to assist me with the whole sanity thing.
So there's the equivalent. So you need to drink. You need to take the equivalent of about 5 shots to start to feel the effect. So that's a full that will get you to medium
So
consumption.
15. Okay, so 15 points of luck.
No. I think you just spend it and you are resistant to the area, to the penalties. That will give you temporary immunity of sanity points of up to 2. Of course, as soon as it goes over, you take
Works
all
for
of
me.
it. Or you could go straight to high, which would be draining the entire flask. That will bring you up to temporary immunity of up to 4 points of sanity loss.
I think I need it. I think if there was ever going to be a point, I think the Cave of Ig is probably it. So, yup, that flask is empty.
Okay, all right. You completely drain it. The sounds of your gulping is drowned out by the sobs.
I'm trying to exactly sobbing, and then there's a large burp, but again, like
Jim?
a resounding kind of very
Echoing.
large drunk man burp.
Well, what's the poison of choice?
Oh yeah, what is the liquor?
It's based on where we are. So this is rye bourbon.
Very good.
That's good. Yeah, that 100% works. Okay, you're able to drain the flask
Too
and
sweet.
pocket it once more without anyone noticing. And when you rise once more, when you rise again, the Reverend is looking at you with his hand extended, and he says, "Sister, look what we have done."
Minor sway. Yeah,
Do you step?
you've done it.
Do you welcome his embrace? Do you still stand by the edge?
You know what? I'm not a hugger.
He nods. And
Not a
lets-
hugger.
And he lets his hand fall back, and he says, "No need. We are bonded now in more than just flesh. You've heard the whisper, and you've begun to see
I've
what
accepted
lies
the
beyond."
power.
Then let's continue. You've received the gift. You'll be stronger now than you ever were before. You won't feel that beating sun. Serpents will never trouble you. You'll have such vivid dreams, and you'll see such sights. I'm so excited for you both at the start of this journey. If I could take it again, I would. But for now, come with me. There's one more secret, one vulnerability that I would show to you.
I
My
do
sister,
have
my brother.
one question, brother. I was sort of doing this to get rid of my very vivid dreams.
You have a sight, Wilhelmina. You have a gift, and this will waken it so much more. You'll be able to experience the true nature of our universe and what lies beyond. At once we were just a grain of sand. Now you will be so much more. You will feel its entirety, but you will wake rested. You will wake stronger. And he's, even though you were kind of like, I'm not a hugger, he has kind of stepped forward and gripped you up by the shoulders. He's kind of shaking you a little bit as he goes, you will be so much more.
Oh, good.
You have doubts still.
No, just an odd affect.
You don't need to lie to me, sister. This is big. This takes some time to adjust to. Look at our brother. He's weeping like a child because he is new and he is a babe again. And the sheriff is like collapsed against the side. He's holding his hands and he's looking down at his skin, which is fully like wet bag around it. But he does seem to be, he looks up and he's beaming underneath the tears. And he says, I feel so strong. I feel I could do anything.
Oh, good. That's great.
This whole time, Henson has posted himself up on the side, and he's kind of not involved in the conversation. He's seated against a rock, and he's unslung the rifle, and he's got a box of cartridges just nearby it, and he's cleaning off like the sand from the bore and everything, making sure it's clean and ready to go. And then he is very one at a time, he is loading rounds into a clip and then snapping it into it and chambering a bullet in the rifle.
Have we reached the point where he shoots it yet?
No, not yet. The Reverend says, "Come with me, sister. See this vulnerability and let me reward your trust." And he turns and he begins to head towards that crack in the wall.
I'm going to look to the sheriff. Oh, after you, good sir. You have truly, truly suffered for this, and you deserve it.
He looks up at you.
After
and he
you.
pulls himself up.
Your suffering has earned you this place. After you.
After all this, after everything you did for me, sister, you carried me here. I recognize that. I recognize I would not have been strong enough. But you brought me to this gift.
Take him very gently by the damp, slopping shoulders and just kind of push him ahead of me gently. Just a bop. Just a bop.
You push him forward a little bit, and you'd think
So
he was the
gently, 'cause
shit-faced
I'm like-
one. You push him towards
Because
the
I'm
break in
aware
the
his
rock.
skin is just so loose and...
Oh, it's not good. It's not pretty. He gets to the squeeze, and he's a big guy.
Oh, no.
And as it does, it will begin to, like, rocks catch on the skin. And as he pulls himself forward, you can see it, like, fully, like, wet bag tearing in sections and leaving bits caught behind. And but you can also continue to hear him go, I can feel it here. This wetness and the serpent's breath. As he heaves himself forward, section at a time. As he begins to descend, the Reverend says, follow
Does
him.
it look like he... Yeah, I mean, is the Reverend already gone through?
No, he's just behind you.
Son of a bitch. And Hubert has not been shot yet?
Not yet. They were a little ways behind.
And that's what I call an exfoliant.
I was going to say this gives a very different flavor to the film Footloose.
I was going to say,
I was hoping you'd get stuck. I can't think of anything I could say to convince the Reverend to go first. I suspect our friend the sheriff may need more assistance than I can provide on the other side. I would feel much better if you were there to catch him. His skin doesn't look so good.
His skin is just one more layer to be peeled away.
That's the
Go ahead,
concern.
sister.
Okay. Alrighty.
At this point, can you please make a fast talk roll for me, Minnie?
Yeah.
'Cause you don't seem to have embraced the serpent. You don't seem super stoked about this.
I'm worried about the sheriff. I'm just concerned. I'm just full of concern for my fellow devotee.
He does.
I believe her.
He does. Yeah, he really does take that, and he goes, It's noble how you feel for others, but trust me, he feels no pain now.
Oh, good.
And from the other side, from somewhere inside the rocks, you can hear the sobbing, like suddenly shudders and gasps, and then you hear him say, "What is this?
Okay.
Reverend? Brother? What is this?"
I'm gonna look at the Reverend and be like, he's asking for you. He's asking for you.
He says, "Go through. Go through."
Surely Hubert must be about to get shot right now.
I'm trying. This is
He's
really
trying to be
hard.
shot so hard.
He's not going to get shot until you commit to the
know.
course of action, I suspect.
Alrighty.
You just don't know how far back they
Fuck
are.
it. All right, through we go.
Okay, you push yourself forward, and you can hear now.
I do have that chain. I have the chain with the cross in my hair.
Yep.
I think what I'll probably do at this point is kind of just be adjusting my clothes. You know, I'm going to meet you. I've got to look my best. And I'll take my hair down.
Just like
And-
Rosemary
and-
wanted.
Exactly. Take my hair down, and I'll say, you know, Rosemary suggested. it would be better. And put my put the cross on the chain in my pocket. But I'll keep my hand in the pocket and my hand on the chain and just start going through.
Okay. Begin to squeeze your way through it, feeling it catch at clothing, sides of the rock. Seems almost as if it's harder for you to squeeze through than it was for the sheriff. Can I get you to make a dexterity roll, please, as you try and just squeeze yourself through? I would also climb. Climb would actually probably work as well, and it'll be easier than the dex.
Good. I'm so much better at climb than dex.
Oh hell yeah! Again, you're kind of suited to this. You can.
This is my shit.
Yeah. You wind yourself one way or the other, and as you pull forward, your sight is blocked as the Reverend follows directly after you, and there is no light in the place beyond. You can hear that whispering continuing to coil out and slither along the ground. And just as you get to the other side, you can see that the cave opens into a very even section of rock. It's like a perfect sphere. Here, it is natural stone wall on the other side, and smooth, black rock all around it. And in the center of it all, risen up like your dream made real, is a stone slab, not dissimilar to what you might find in a mortician's operating theater. And with the sheriff leaning in front of it, his hands crossed and sort of beating it into his forehead, you can see laid out on the slab is a corpse, and it looks exactly like the Reverend. And just as you approach, you hear a gunshot.
I haven't started to approach it. I'm going very, very. I've popped out of the other end.
Just gone on the other side. That's right.
I'm going pretty slow. Has the Reverend popped out behind me already?
The Reverend is just behind you. That's right. He's still in the middle of the squeeze, actually, if anything. And suddenly you hear a crack of a gunshot. The sheriff wheels around, and the Reverend does not seem surprised by it. He's continuing to push forward. Now,
How stuck is he? Is he struggling?
He's not struggling at all, but he is. You are in between him and getting out. So
good to know.
We're gonna go to dexterity from here on out, just to see how things are handled. So can I just get everyone to make dexterity rolls? People in the skies included.
Womp womp.
Reach for the sky.
You
want to roll it, not send it to the tracker.
Yep, that's right.
Very good. Oh boy.
Nice.
Okay.
Were we meant to see those?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, I'll just put them all together. Okay, so coming in on extreme,
hello.
We have Carter first. Then on the hards, we have our lovely sheriff. And then on our successes, we have almost everyone else. Minnie,
then me. Failed.
You failed? Oh no.
I'm not. Dex is not my thing. Okay, I'm not a Dex person. So, I'm lying and climbing and sleight of handing and yeah.
Hell yeah! All right, so we're gonna have Hubert, Sam, and we will have where's my boy? And Henson, and then lastly we have Minnie and the sheriff both failing. So Minnie and then the Reverend, sorry, not the sheriff. Okay, Jim, first I'm gonna roll for your damage.
Oh, that's all right. Why don't I just take one?
That's cool, man. I kind of feel like doing it. Like it's.
We just round it. Just round it down to one.
So I'm gonna give him a bonus dice on this. Technically, he could miss, and then I guess you look down at my cranberry sauce. Why did I keep that on my back? Like a fool.
Of course. Well, traveling the day that I never traveled. Oh, come on!
Yes, amazing. Sorry, Hugh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jace, because that is worse. Because it's 2d6 and it's
so
impaling. So that's 12 plus 2d6. So I'm not done rolling. Oh, now we're cooking.
What?
I'm just gonna roll that once more to confirm. Because we've had a bug before.
It's 1d.
Ignore that. It's the bug where it's guaranteed crits. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm
glad I confirmed that because I did have a sneaky suspicion. So let me unclick that.
No. I think what it's done is it's gone. You rolled 4 and then add 12 to that.
Yeah, but it's also rolled the crit.
It has also
because of
guaranteed the crit, which there is a bug that we've seen.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
I'm gonna adjust that.
How do you know that that's the thing that it does again? For anyone playing who would like to use this stuff at home,
Yes,
how do we
What? How do crits work on gun rolls? I feel like I don't know.
Well, crits work on gun rolls. It's just if you get a crit, it's impaling weapon, so it rolls full damage plus the damage again. So you are right, Jackson. It has rolled.
Next time I shoot anything, I'll show you how it works.
What's the standard damage? It's 2d6. Well, I think that's what's happened. So it's 12 plus 2d6.
I know, but there is a bug with
In
the
roll
roll
20.
20 thing where those crits go through on NPC shit sometimes.
It's not the damage roll, it's the fact that it rolled the crit.
Oh, it's the fact that it rolled a crit.
Oh, it's
Okay,
still an
gotcha.
extreme, so we're fine.
Okay, cool.
All right, confirmed.
It is hella confirmed. And he does have bonus.
But
all right, and
so
that
now
one is.
do we take the 20 or the 16 damage?
Take the 20. That's the one that hit.
Damn it.
Yeah, cop that. Jim
Ow.
loves a big hit. All right, Jim, so that's 20 damage. That probably got you right in the
so
liver.
I'll take it. I'm gonna review some pulp talents.
There's no major wounds. That function isn't in it. So you just take a big hit and you can keep going.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I have anything that I can reduce damage with from a large hit.
Yep.
Because this is definitely something that it would be
totally
worth
can.
spending.
Can you? Is it one of those like
one
you
of the pulp
spend luck
talents,
to
good call.
halve the? I know you can do it with sanity. You spend double luck to halve the sanity, and I know that if you have 30 luck or more and are going to die, you can wipe all of it to not.
It's only a scratch. When you take damage, you can spend 20 luck points to immediately heal 1d6.
So you can do that one.
Okay,
Or you could
hold
save
for
them
now,
for
'cause
avoiding
I could save it for
things.
later.
for
All
the
you need-
inevitable death.
All you need to spend all of your luck points, minimum 30, to avoid certain death.
Yep. Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Bang.
Cool. Damage
Thank you,
received.
everyone, for bearing with us while we recalibrate after 2 weeks off, and
haven't
also we pay some attention to the rules.
We haven't
do our
played this
best.
game since last year.
It wouldn't-
Go easy on
Oh
us.
my god, it was a year ago.
Oh my
Oof.
god.
All right.
It wouldn't be the, closing in on the end of one of our scenarios if I didn't take a catastrophic amount of damage. The first serpent fight, the
That's
explosion, and now getting crit with a
My
shot in
concern
the
is I'm not sure this is the end of the scenario. I think we're like halfway in.
No, it's the end for me because
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jim's
Cool,
gonna go.
cool.
Okay.
So long as you go home and ask those chaps again.
Hubert, you take 20 damage.
ouch.
No.
You
How
suddenly
many points you got again?
you wheel around to
My
look.
32 max.
You wheel around to look
32?
into the cave,
Yeah.
and you can
Hubert
see
is huge bird. He's a
a
big boy.
gun that's just fired and a person chambering around and approaching you. We are now all rolling decks, and we're going to resolve things from there. From the sky, you guys will hear it after a delay. I will also get you to, now, as you're strafing, to make that spot hidden roll to see if you could see another entrance or anything up here.
Are we both taking it, or should one of us give a bonus to the other?
Up to you. Yeah, do that actually. And Sam's flying, so it probably makes sense for Carter for you to roll
I can take it.
with a bonus dice.
With a bonus because Sam's lining up planes and stuff.
Mhm.
Delightful. Okay. Better.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
From
40
here,
over 10. 40 over 50.
looking
40.
around, you cannot see any sign of another entrance to the cave or any.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of other caverns in the area, but this looks to be, as part of this network, it looks like it's going straight underground. Now, that said, it could pop up somewhere else a ways away, but you don't see anything clear, and you haven't spotted like Minnie clambering out the other side or anything yet. You also, with that success, will see Hubert wheel around, stagger a bit. You can see quite a lot of blood pooling on the back of his shirt as he suddenly, I presume, leaps into action. What would the
Cool.
two of you like to do?
Is making a spot hidden my action?
No. That's me reconciling what you've done. You
Lovely.
now have your action.
Can I have a scoped rifle.
You do. Unfortunately, your target is in the cave.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I plan to aim.
Okay.
Time to get low.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
going to take the rifle and begin aiming at the front of the cave. So if anything exits, hopefully I will be able to take that with the aim action. But
100%. All right. So I'm assuming that you guys are going to need to be flying close enough that you are within your weapon's range.
Yeah.
I think it's like 300 feet or something ridiculous.
I think anything is quite light. It'll be like a lot of rifles, like 50 yards or something, which is
110 yards.
okay. Then in that case you're fine for range. You're definitely good. You are going to have a penalty dice because you're firing from like a moving, strafing vehicle, but the aiming will counteract that, and Dr. Sam might be able to pull some cool maneuver that negates the penalty for flying as well.
Maneuvers.
So you are going to aim, you hoist the rifle, peer through the scope, and you can just make out, it sort of wavers a little bit, you're trying to keep a line on it. Hubert's staggering back, and we now go inside to the sheriff's turn. Minnie, you see him stand up and point at the body on the altar, and he's sort of looking between you and the Reverend. The gunshots just ring out, and he's wheeling around. He says, "What is that? Is that you? Is that someone else? What the hell's happening?" And the Reverend from the other side of you, Minnie, says, "Pay no mind to anything else. Come closer. I will tell you everything." He's doing nothing for the time being, and we are now going to Hubert, who and Sam are on the same round, and then it's going to be George. Dr. Sam, why don't you go first, because we'll resolve Hubert and the lumberjack inside.
So we're within 100 meters, 110 yards of the cave.
Yep.
That's 100 meters.
Or something.
What's the temperature? 35 degrees Celsius?
Yeah. On the
So
nose.
sound travels at 350 meters per second at 35 degrees Celsius. So actually, it only took the sound of the gunshot 0.28 seconds to reach us.
Oh, there you go. You heard it nigh on instantly.
I don't know if that's helpful to anyone, but I enjoyed doing it.
I'd say it's probably hotter than 35. If we're in the middle of the desert, we're looking at like 45.
It's a dry heat.
Another fun fact, it's immediately followed by an ouch!
I was going to say, it might not have been useful, but the mere fact that I knew what you were doing as soon as you said what temperature it was, I was like, Jackson is a good boy, and I appreciate this specific bit.
Shucks. All right, well, now
so
that
your
I've seen...
action is calculation. You roll the mathematics for me.
Yes.
Aviation is 99% calculation if you're flying by instruments alone.
And 1% avoiding the ground.
True.
And 99% reason.
I don't actually, if anyone is actually a pilot, please don't at me. Thank you.
Oh, we irritated the pilots again.
Well, now that if I've seen Hubert get shot, my priority is now landing next to him as fast as possible.
Okay, all right.
So that's my priority.
You will have seen that my intention is to shoot the thing from the cave, so you can take time to do that because I'll do my
best to help Carter line up their shots, but I will also be moving to land as close to Hubert as possible to render medical assistance.
So, as soon as you begin to nose down and head towards a landing point, suddenly the wind bursts out of the cave, catches the edge of the wing, and sort of begins to spin it about. You can both now hear the whispering of Yig encircle your minds and promise you power or threaten you with pain if you do not succumb to its desires. What is your responses? Because otherwise this thing is going to fire your ass out of the sky.
What?
It can try.
It can try, and Dr. Sam's going to get a roll, but do either of you agree to the conditions?
Well, it's all happening internally, so
You have to remind me, what's the deal again? What's the dealio here?
Embrace his power, feel his love, be a cool snake guy. It's unclear. You also, it's in Narcal principally, and you're getting like psychically transmitted vibes. Right. It's talking, it's promising you, power.
Can I give off a vibe of just let me land this plane first and then I'll think about it? Can I be like, just give me a second. Your offer intrigues me. I will subscribe to your newsletter, but I cannot commit at this time.
Do you want to try that?
Yeah.
Give me a power roll.
Negotiate with Yig.
You've been sleeping underneath the ground.
Oh wow!
It's not a fumble, and you can luck it.
99 over 90 power. That's my
mean-
thing.
Luck it.
Power is my highest stat. I put it at 90
That's
because
so
I'm a
funny.
feel-good kind of guy.
Yeah. But like, just
you would
spend
need-
9
you would
points of luck,
need-
you're fine.
For what it's worth, that success is not going to be a. It will get you out
Yeah.
of the. It will get you out of the failure range, but you would need much more than just a success to make much headway
That
here.
felt like a hard. So would a success get me anything?
It will prevent disaster.
I would like to spend 9 points to prevent disaster.
Okay. For a moment, Sam's eyes roll back and there's only white as he sort of goes limp, slumps a little bit forward, and then sort of jerks himself back up, grabs the thing as the gust of wind hits the wings fully on one side, sends it spiraling away and tumbling through the air. I'm counting that as a rejection from you, Dr. Sam, and I will need you to roll a piloting check. But before you do, Carter, you can independently hear the whispering inside as you're, trained on the cave. It's almost as if it's swelling forth from that darkness.
Cute. Not taking my eye out of the sights and looking at the cave entrance, I'll say, counterpoint, we're not too much fans of the inner night, and I hear you might not be either.
Okay, all right.
It's true.
I'm also going to need you to, if you do you say this while also agreeing to the terms by any chance?
Well, the terms aren't clear, so it's
No, they're
more
not.
okay. No, so I think it's not quite Sam's going, I need to think about it. This is more of a, I am not adverse to what you're suggesting. I just want to understand whether or not we're on the same page. So mine's a little bit more like...
I'm not signing a contract without reading the fine print.
Yes.
Essentially, yes. It is not a flat-out denial. It is not a, like, let me land this plane and I'll think about it. It's a, what are the terms?
Okay,
please?
all
The
right.
vibe I'm getting is that
Maybe.
we're not being offered terms yet. It's more just do you
Except, but
submit?
I'm
So I was
hoping
also-
that the fact
don't
that
do
we know
ultimatums.
about the inner night, the fact that we know that the
Yes,
followers of you
I-
don't like the inner night and vice versa,
I do
I'm
like
hoping
that
that is
one.
enough to shake the little god brain a little bit. So it's like, hang on.
That's quite good.
I'm
Okay,
gonna,
maybe.
I'm gonna get you to make a power roll once more. You do also kind of get the vibe that the gods kind of love a bit of blind following. It's doing a
that's
lot
fine.
of questioning.
I mean, this is like, I'm not against blindly following. Well, I am because I'm terrified of snakes, but
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. All right, go ahead.
He
And make,
doesn't know that.
go ahead and make a power roll, please.
34.
Would you like to turn that into a hard success?
Will a hard get me?
It will make you progress. Yeah.
Hang on. Up. One
Easy.
sec.
Of course, only if you have the luck to spend.
Take 12. I'll make it an extreme. I'm
Oh.
from 99 luck to 87 luck, which is
I
where I
think-
was
I
when
think
we
that's-
started this session.
Holy shit! So I
Before I
think it's
rolled.
22 for an extreme. You're at 34. You'll need to go down to 12.
Yes, sorry, I think that's... Hang
So
on.
spend 22.
34... Did I do that? I think I did that right. 34 minus 12 is 22, and then 99 minus 22. 77. Yeah, that's fine. You can have 77. So I am from 99 to 77.
Okay. All right.
I want an extreme success on a snake god. Thank you.
So, as you're holding the rifle and you're channeling it, you're focusing through it, your other eye begins to sort of like cloud over and you can't see anything. Almost in a dream, suddenly the wings are lifted up as Sam snaps back and tries to wrestle with the controls. The whole thing wheels backwards and away, spiraling through the sky and towards the deadly ravine below. But somehow your vision stays strained on the cave, even through impossible angles. It's like you're still looking through the scope, and the cave's just getting like larger and swallowing around you. You can feel that like coolness clamped around your brain begin to squeeze tighter, and then through the heart of the cave it opens up and there's a whiteness through it, and there's this huge crouching rolls of fat and muscle creature with bulging arms and black bristled fur all along the side. It has ears like bats, and they're slouched down over it, and its face is pushed up and pug-like. You can see fangs protruding from it, and 4 red eyes on either side that squint towards you maliciously. And then suddenly, coiled around it, comes this huge snake, which wraps it, swallows over, and dives down.
Oh.
And for a moment, you can hear, "I am no fan of the sleeper of Nakai. Sathogwa is our enemy, and if he is yours, then you can have this power with no price."
Nice.
Oh shit!
Do you
That's a
accept
good
the
deal.
terms?
Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And then the blackness
Absolutely, yeah.
snaps back
so
through.
long as
and
Ares is a tactician, and also the only thing they're good at is killing things. Absolutely, and also artists. This is cool. Yeah.
So
Yes.
first of all, immediately write down that you
let's
have
go.
the blessing of Yig.
Nice.
And I'm also going to ask you to add a D4 to your Cthulhu Mythos skill, as the
Nice.
name Sathogwa and the Sleeper of Nakai are, that being the same creature. But you have...
You're gonna have to spell at least the first one for me at some point.
Knows no words, the symbols are
Yeah, fuck off.
arcane.
It's in the book somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna use the
Phonetically,
arc
thank you.
Fair
alphabet.
call.
Yeah, right. Sorry, sorry.
Now our goal should immediately be to also great information that we have Sasogula as a word now, but we should immediately try and find that and go, you know, we're fighting Ying, and then get the blessing of that, and then we can be.
I'm pretty sure this thing is the thing that is the inner night. I mean, why? Like, it's a bat. Of course, it's the inner night, or something similar. I assume. Lovely. I have the blessing of Yig.
Woohoo.
Terrifying sentence.
You love that. I did put it in the chat. The
Cool.
Thank you.
viewer one is a little bit off, but they'll see it in just a second.
Have we met this one before?
You have possible. I think you have seen that name in some of the
This is-
Cataseus.
No, sorry, not sorry. Players. Is this the one that like I licked a statue and it was there, or is this a
That
different
might have
one?
been. So Hagwa does like a statue.
Mm.
I think that probably
Hagwa likes
was.
a
I
good
think that was
statue.
the Elephant Boy, not Sathogwa. If I'm
No, I
right.
think that was Frogman, and I know Jim ran that
Oh,
one.
that's
So
yeah, that's a
You
different-
have had a long storied history with this being. This is technically what was in the mine.
Oh,
in the,
so it is the-
yeah,
it
that's
is
what I
a
was asking.
statue
Because
on it. Oh, no
it was
shit.
like you got a stitch, and I was like, I'ma lick it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I lost my ability to feel guilt, and that was the best thing ever.
well, yeah,
Good times.
So this one has reached. This has reached through the meta to find you again.
Yeah. To
find us
Sathogwa
Always.
breaches campaigns.
Through time, Sathogwa will be my demon. My
We're
entity.
in ostensibly the American West fighting serpent people, so the circumstances are relatively similar.
That's
Hey,
true.
readers, check out issue Shadows Over Stillwater on the Chaosium YouTube channel to see more about this group's adventures in the Wild Wild West.
You can always trust Jackson.
Circa like mid 2020, if you're looking back through the history, you'll find it. It's
A
very
good
fun.
year. A good
Exactly.
year.
A fine vintage.
A fine vintage for Call of Cthulhu at minimum.
All right, Jackson, can you make a piloting roll so I can chuck you out of the sky?
Oh, I can do one of those
It's
things.
going to be hard.
I laugh in the face of hard,
God damn it! If you could roll another
but
extreme.
I also can't find the skill. There it is. Bam.
Oh my god,
well.
we're having some luck.
You guys
You're
rolled
not
very
getting
well.
Jackson out of the
Get
sky.
out of the sky. Get on.
It's where I live, Dave.
the ground. All right.
Just a spray bottle.
It's like a cat on the counter. So as your mind, your eyes roll back, you can hear the whispering. Suddenly you try to bargain, and then, oh my god, beep, beep, beep. Alarms are going off. Dials are whirring. You bring yourself back. Oh my god, that's the ground. You pull up and you roar away, but you have not managed to approach the cave. You go back to sort of like another strafe and swing around. The cave, the gust comes straight out from it, short of, well, you did succeed. You could slam into the entrance is the other option. You will take damage. You will send a plane into the ground. there is always like a, you go straight in. Otherwise, you are back up in the sky and you can look for another approach.
No, I could render first aid to Hubert faster, but then it's not much good if I don't have a plan to get him back to town.
Okay.
So I'll do a go around.
All right, you're able to just pull yourself back up and away. You go careening past, just skimming along the ground and looking for another landing point. There is a gimme, but it is quite a ways away. As in, you would be like making rolls in several rounds before getting up this thing. All right, you wheel about, and we now go to Hubert.
Where it's not looking so great for me. I've been shot in the back, and everything's a little bit fraught.
Yes.
So I turn around, I see the gun poking out of the cave. Am I close enough to get to there?
You more see like the glint of it inside the cave. Yeah, you can close the distance. You can let out a roar and charge into the cave and let the darkness swallow you.
Okay. Do I? I'm wondering. Can I basically engage in combat in this round, or is it a sprint in and I'll have to look around a bit?
Whack him
and
with
see?
a stick. It'll be cool.
All right.
He is basically. So you were actually at the cave. You pushed through the wind and you got there. You turned around to go, I found it, just in the entrance, and then bang, something from deeper inside the cave shot you. You wheel around. You can see Henson now post up just at right at the back, reloading and aiming again as you let out a roar and charge forward.
Great. So my two options were I was going to run away, I was going to take cover, and I was going to try and maybe goad Henson out. But I think that if I run out, I'm going to get hit by this wind again. I'm probably going to be in a bad way. So I think, I'm just going to have to run forward and go for Henson. So I will sprint towards Henson, and I would like to make a combat maneuver. So I would like to get that gun out of his hand. Basically.
Okay, all right.
Grab the gun.
Hell yeah.
Fling it away.
So you can barrel towards him and catch him just as he reloads and aims towards you. Grab the gun and heave it up. There's another bang as it fires into the roof, and then you're wrestling for it. Go ahead and give me a fighting maneuver, and I will resist it with his own.
Sure. So my build is considered one higher because of my pulp talent.
Yes.
Nice.
Which
What
means
does that
that
bring you
I'm
to?
considered to be build 3. Now, I also know that Henson is juiced up crazily as well.
He is juiced up. Now, this is him resisting your maneuver. So he still rolls, and it just means that he can't instigate. He is unable to make maneuvers against you. You are too large for him, or he has 2 power dice. It's one of those. But he can try to resist it.
Okay. Here we go. That is a hard success from me.
All right.
Very nice.
Just rolling mine. I'm just going to make sure that's fine. Okay, only a regular success. So you grab the gun, shove it up into the roof, and then just wrench it forth from him. He is disarmed, and you have the weapon.
If I can, within the same turn, kind of as a swing movement, I pull it out and just fling it away.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you can
spiral it off, hopefully into the wind, which then casts it off into the ravine.
Unfortunately, it seems the wind is inhuman, and it's actually like completely dead once more. As you swing it skitters along the ground, and then just catches there, completely unmoving.
Gotcha. Well, at least it's still over there.
Yep.
In which case, I'll turn back to him, lure him over
just
him
in time
down
to me to knuckle to the nose as he swings on you.
Ah,
sorry. Did you want to have a loom? Give him a loom.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'll take the knuckle. I will be riposting.
Oh hell! Oh yeah, shit. This might not work out super good for him. All right, he is gonna whack you. Go ahead and make your roll first, and then I'll roll mine, so you can decide if you want to spend dice. Luck.
Okay, fantastic. That is a success from me. No, I will keep it. Yeah, let's put that to a hard.
Okay, all right, that's a hard.
Yep.
He's gonna go ahead and give you. Eat this. Only a success. That is gonna mean you are gonna win. So you turn around. Your face meets knuckle. How do you riposte? How do you respond?
I presume I don't have time to get my weapon out because I was wrestling with him, so it's just going to be a fist. Okay, cool. I think he swings at me. I will catch his hand, punch him once in the face, and say, "That tracks for a man with a broken back," and then hit him again.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage, please.
All right. So that will be 1d3 for unarmed, plus 1d6 for my damage bonus. 5 damage.
Hot dog.
Nice.
All right. That hurts. All right, he reels backwards. His head smacks into the cave wall, and then he's back on you, unperturbed and unfazed by the damage. It did hurt him though. It definitely registered. Okay, Minnie, it's you and the Reverend. He's still coming through the squeeze. You can hear a brawl breaking out on the outside, and you're pretty sure you can hear Hubert's voice saying, cool one-liners as the gun goes off
cool.
again, and then they
he's
wrestle.
fine.
What would you
fine.
like to do? The Reverend is acting just after you.
Okay. Do I get anything from the entity, the voice in the cave, who I refused, but who now one of my companions has been like, that we know that there are two factions here, and the enemy of our enemy is at least not our enemy.
You did not accept the very
No, I
unclear
didn't.
terms. You currently nothing. It's actually kind of like dead space, and the buzz is actually saving you from a fair bit. Seeing your dream made real, and also this weird corpse laid across the slab, is quite uncomfortable. But you are kind of just like noted, and then going back
I'm just
to whatever.
I'm like, well, I've seen this before. This isn't unusual to me.
The sheriff is sobbing in front of it, and the Reverend is continuing to kind of try and push through. Do you want to turn and whack the sheriff, the Reverend? Sorry. Do you want to approach the slab and look at it more closely?
Yes, I would like to. I'm just here to get information on this area. I feel like Hubert. I might be able to get past the Reverend, but that's a separate problem for me to deal with.
Okay.
But I'm here to collect information for Chaosium.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. We are
My
research.
dreams are not great. But they're useful.
They are. So, as you step forward towards it, the sheriff blubbering and sagging and torn skin, swinging around, and the Reverend now pulling himself through and to follow after you. You can see that this stone slab laid out, there is a corpse across it, and it looks identical to the sheriff, with a key exception, which is that this one is... sorry, not the sheriff, the Reverend. I need to... Sorry,
Oh, the
that's not what I've
Reverend,
done a few
yeah.
times, I think. The Reverend. But clearly this body has gone through a harrowing voyage in the desert. It is dried and desiccated. The eyes are like red and raw, where they still look sort of like staring up in towards the ceiling. You can see blisters and scabs. This is a man who very, very lost and wandered around in the desert for some, days and days.
Right.
It also looks as though, this thing died for sure. This is in horrible, horrible condition. But it's completely naked, and you can see that in its center, it's as though its organs have been removed, because hanging sort of like loosely against the rib cage, the skin is like a deflated around it and hanging there, and where the belly button is, there's a hole, and it looks as though it's kind of been like stretched out a little bit, not dissimilar again to the dream that you had.
The dream. Huh.
And in the dream, there was something inside it.
There super was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hot day in the sun, and I am a lady. I've got my gloves on at the very least. In we go.
Okay, and you go for it. So the Reverend's coming up.
I'm just like,
I thought you were gonna say, hot day in the sun. I am a lady. I pretend to faint.
no. I'm here to collect information for Chaosium. So collect I shall.
So
Very good.
the Reverend's coming in behind you, and as you're walking forward towards it, he's talking, and he says,
Oh, he's having a bit of a meltdown, isn't he? So I'm not.
the sheriff is having a meltdown.
Oh, the sheriff is having a meltdown. The Reverend is just strolling into the cave.
The Reverend is having a cracking monologue. So as he
Yeah.
comes in behind
Good for
you,
him.
he's saying, what you see there, sister, brother, is the old me. That is the man that walked out into the desert, and when I was seeking God,
Yes, I figured.
found him. I died, and then you go forward into it, and
Yes,
he's like,
I know.
and he
Yes, no, I
immediately
know.
loses the veneer, goes, no, do not touch that, and he lunges forward towards you as you just go, snap, reach in through the belly button, and you immediately feel something on the inside, like there is an egg or something on the interior, and he rushes towards you. He is going to attempt a maneuver to grab you and heave you away from it. Immediately, you are aware that there is a vulnerability here. Can you either roll dodge or a brawl to resist this?
We seem to have split the party quite excellently.
Yeah.
I would like to kind of just duck out of the way if I possibly can.
We
like
duck
to
and
dodge.
weave.
I'm not good at this.
Go ahead and make a dodge roll.
Okie dokie.
Okay, leaving it as a success.
Make that hard. I really don't want him to grab me. I'm going to lock that one right down to a hard.
All right. He does not seem super capable. He seems
That's
more
okay. I've got luck.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm now making my roll. The Reverend launches himself forward. No, he snaps out of any cool demeanor he held is immediately lost as he suddenly lunges forward towards you.
I'm just hop.
Duck under him and jam an arm forward, and you can feel it touching something cool and spherical on the inside. He is continuing to sort of like lunge around you as you pull back, the skin sort of wrapped around your forearm and bulging out now, and then with a wet sort of like a popping sound as you remove an egg from the cavity, and it is fully serpentine. It is large, about sort of, yay big, and it is sort of white and it's fairly thick, and you can feel as you hold up, it rocks slightly before you. And as the Reverend looks on in horror, the sheriff sort of pulls himself up. You once again feel a tugging, as if your heart had suddenly run a long string to this egg, and you feel a connection to it, an inability to act, a desire to hold it, to return it to where it was, to protect it, all of these things. And I'm going to ask you to make a power roll. And I'm going to give you a bonus dice because you have succeeded this before.
Oh, go on, Minnie.
Oh, that makes it a 43. That makes it a hard.
Okay, you are going to need an extreme on this. However, you can push the roll.
Or luck.
If
you're pretty close.
I'm going to luck it. I mean, I'm at, 43 out of 18? What's that? Somebody do the math for me.
That's
18 minus 18 is 25.
25 done.
Okay, all right.
Alex, please football spike this again.
Twofer. Can't break a cult without breaking a few eggs or something. All right. So you are. However, this is going to be on the next round. As you've gone through, you've gotten it. You've resisted the effect, and we go back to the top. With Carter. The vision sort of fades, and when you come back to Carter, the plane is just finishing spiraling as Sam pulls it out of a dive, and you're shaking it loose. Suddenly, the heat doesn't feel as bad anymore. It's sort of, you're almost like you can feel like warming your side. You feel, limber. You feel good. You feel capable. There is still... That whispering hasn't fully stopped, though. You can kind of hear it just in the back of your mind, continuing to swirl and coil in a language you don't fully understand. But it is your turn.
Okay.
Carter, what would you like to do?
Sorry, were you talking to me? There is a very loud helicopter.
Oh, dear.
Swirling in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Everything's gone a bit squiffy.
You feel pretty good. There just is a little bit of a voice whispering nasty things, probably. But
Ooh, not the first time. Well, maybe for Carter, definitely not for us.
I would like to do.
Can I
Hubert
see
has
Henson?
gone inside. No, Hubert has gone inside, and now you can see neither of them.
How far away are we from the ground?
It was rapidly approaching for a while. Now you're back up in the sky.
We're doing a go around.
Okay.
Unless you could get your shot off, just before we aborted the landing.
You did not get a line of sight on him.
No, it's fine.
How low are you? Can Carter just
That was kind of what I was asking, was how low are you to the ground? Like, can I just...
Well,
Do you wanna
high enough to
jump
get
out?
out of the... Ooh.
That would be very cool.
That's
Just
just
do,
kind of, if we're close enough, although we would be going at speed.
Oh, for sure. It is a
my-
heart.
Well, I would have been slowing down until, it started to go around, aborted the landing, and then started speeding up again.
Yeah.
So, like, if anything, probably the wind slowing us down would have made me abort. So, would have been pretty slow.
I'm asking the keeper.
Yeah.
Keeper, dearest keeper, how far away from the ground am I right now? In your mind, please.
It's probably the speed that's the problem. If you jump, you will probably not die. You will almost surely take damage. No, this is all rocky bullshit around here.
Oh yeah.
It would be a jump roll to reduce the damage. On a success, you'll still take damage.
Yeah.
Anything short of a crit, probably. And on a failure, you will take a reasonable chunk of damage.
That is fine.
You probably won't perish.
That's okay. Given that we're going potentially into a fight, I don't think it is sensible to hurt myself by pure stupidity any more than I potentially already have. I know, I'm sorry, everyone. I'll fling myself out of a plane at a more opportune moment.
Hold you to it. I've been trying to throw people out of planes this whole campaign, and I've had zero success.
Yeah, but that's because it's you.
Yeah.
My professional medical opinion is you should do a flip.
And shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
do a kickflip.
What Ares is going to do, thank you everyone so much for your suggestions. I take them all on board, and I will play my character in the full control of what I want to do.
That's fine.
But I love it.
Lamely.
Well, I was going to slip the rifle back up, put it away, turn to Sam, and I assume given that you said that Sam's eyes went kind of a weird white color, is there anything going on with mine right now?
Sam's fairly focused.
But
cool. Yeah, for narrative
For
reasons.
narrative?
yes, for when Carter eventually gets into the cave, and I'm like,
I
Have I got cat slits like snakes?
That to you. Do you want up to you.
Do you want cat's eyes?
Not permanently, but definitely in the moment, like in this moment.
What if
That'd
it's
be kind of sick.
I was thinking, as it settles in, probably. And what about also in the? Can snakes see in the dark? I don't think they.
Yes.
I don't think they really do seeing in general.
They're not
really see.
They can see. They're just not. They've got better options.
Vibration.
I think definitely as your first I googled snake eyes and I got a bunch of G.I. Joe shit.
I'm surprised you didn't get the Nicolas Cage movie.
Awesome. You got a katana now. That's rules. Snake eyes.
For narrative reasons only, as I put it away and the camera follows, I'll say it's just the eye that was watching the cave. The other one's normal, but that one for a little and then it goes and slides back into normal again. But I'll just say, Sam, I think we should land quickly.
Yep. Just had to do a go around because that blast of wind, but we'll be down shortly.
Oh, and Sam?
Yeah.
I think I might have made a mistake.
Oh, no. Can you fix it?
I don't say that's 6 seconds of conversation. That'll do.
Hell yes.
Yep.
All right, that rules. Okay. Shaking yourself from your reverie and preparing for action. We now go to the sheriff. So on the inside, as the Reverend throws himself at you, is riposted. You withdraw the egg with a wet pop. He turns and he yells to the sheriff. He says, "Restrain your sister!" And the sheriff, a little bit shaken, does what he is told. He is going to lunge towards you and attempt to grab the egg.
Okay.
He is a more
using the egg.
Well, that's just it. That's what I was thinking. Is that
smack him in the face with it?
Pretty much.
The freaking thing.
I've got it in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to riposte with the egg?
I'm riposting with the egg.
Go for it.
Obviously.
It's gonna make him pull his punches, surely.
Yeah, I can. Look, it's one luck for a hard. Let's
Hey, that kind of rules. I didn't even put in this dude's brawl. He's just got guns. Why didn't I do that? All right. Let me just.
What's the damage roll for egg?
For egg? I think it's probably still a D3. I think it's the same. Yeah, I don't think.
I take you with egg.
It for sure takes sanity loss. All right. Where's the old sheriff? Oh, he's got a decent brawl score. That's what we like to see. Get in there, sheriff. Get amongst it.
That's one of my favorite things.
Penalty, considering that he's wearing a wet tissue paper skin suit.
Yeah, he's not happy. Alright, 1 second. 1D.
I got to say, my favorite thing when I'm running RPGs is getting into combat, reading the NPC's stats and abilities for the first time, and
And
going,
being
"Oh,
like,
wow.
oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
That's sweet.
Oh, you guys are about to get messed up. This is great."
Let's go.
That
All
is entirely me every time I look at Strahd from Curse of Strahd. I'm like, oh no.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
that
This is
sweet
gonna be
ass.
fun.
It's either that or it's the reverse. That you get in, you
like,
read it all. So this is gonna be so exciting. It's gonna be the best fight, and then something happens, which means the combat never takes place.
Oh yeah. All right.
Or
I am gonna roll this with penalty
BEG down. Egg.
dice.
Egg.
All right, he's gonna take a penalty dice on this. Oh, you've already beaten him on it.
Nice.
Don't give us a lot of numbers though. That'd be so cool. All right. So he lunges forward towards you. You get under him, and where do you hit him with it?
Face.
All right. He comes running forward, and you slam the
You
egg
egged
into
him.
him. It cracks his nose. Go ahead and deal a D3 of damage.
Nice.
Does it crack?
Oh, hell yeah, it does.
Oh yes, dude. Oh.
All right, you deal 2 damage to him. He reels back, stunned by it. You can see blood pooling in his sort of, loose skin shaking as he comes back of it. And the egg has cracked. It's not fully smashed. And rather than yolk or like white or anything, there's like smears of black running down it. And the egg in your hand, the front faces of it has broken. This is only the riposte, so it's still your turn. And as you pull it back, there's something like squiggling on the inside.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just about ready.
Yeah.
A football spike in it.
All right. That will be on your turn. He
If it's still my
recoils back.
turn, I can still do
That was
something.
the sheriff's turn. That was a bonus
Oh,
smack.
that was the sheriff's turn.
He just
yes,
dicked it.
yes, that was bonus.
All right.
Ugh.
Outside, we're going to go to Sam.
Hey,
What would you like to do?
have we missed anyone? Did we get to Hubert?
Yeah, Hubert's right after you.
Hubert went after you last time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because Hubert's in the cave.
That's right. I will put the plane down
Okay.
once again.
So, you know now, there's the wind buffer, which is going to be hard. Give me a pilot roll. So, first of all, it's going to be a hard
I thought
success
you'd never
to
ask.
begin this. An extreme will definitely help you because you'll get closer. Go ahead. Would you like to push this?
Precision.
Right
push it.
right on the money. At this one, I guess you do get it down, but it's back on we've rated as sands. Like that's your safe landing point. You're gonna have to get a lot closer.
What are the consequences of failing a push in this case?
Impact. It will be damage to you and some to the plane.
It will be, of course.
Damage to you and the plane, and I'm happy to sliding scale that, Jackson, so you can take more of the damage onto yourself and less onto the plane, unless you really.
Wow. I am averse to pushing this.
Yeah.
I know everyone else feels, but
But you're adverse to.
I don't feel good.
That's fair.
I am averse.
Where's
but hold on, regular
the
success means
Jackson
I'm
math of you succeeded this one, so the next one has to be a failure? Is that that's the way you normally do it, right?
I've had a hard success and a success already, so the next one must be a failure.
Or an
Yeah,
extreme,
that's-
because those are the only
that's how
two
it
in the
works.
chamber.
Oh, that's true.
Could be a crit. That'd be cool.
So if I leave this and don't push it, I'm not landing this turn.
No, you are land. Or sorry, you can choose to land, but you're further away. Or you can say, nope, don't want that one. I'm trying again.
Do I have time to shout out to Carter what's going on? I can put us down now, but it's going to be very bumpy, or I can put us down a bit further away. I'd be inclined to know where Carter's at.
I am going to try something very silly.
Oh, good.
Well, it's about time.
That's been far
You
too
said I
sensible.
could still hear whispering in the back of my head?
Yeah.
Little help, please?
Hmm.
Little wind buffer to make this a little bit less painful?
Yeah.
You kind of do have the radio still turned on. The communication line is open. Give me a persuasion roll. Extreme.
If
If this
Charm?
connects, I'm
Could
gonna.
I
or charm.
argue charm?
Or charm.
Because persuasion is 10, have a chance.
Just be
Seduce
like,
the
pretty
snake."
please. Pretty please.
Oh no! Come on!
Fuck.
Ridiculous.
Hey,
Oh my god.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I
what's
love
up?
you.
Ah, furious. I hate this.
Oh,
stupid-
yes.
There was your chambered extreme, Jackson.
Never
You would have
challenge
done
me with a good time, yo.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So the winds stop and I can bring her down with my regular success. Is that what's going on here? That's exactly what happens, isn't it? It's 11:30, Dave.
Maybe this will be the one. This will be the one chapter of Two-Headed Serpent. And I say this with full knowledge that we are not at the end yet.
Yeah.
That goes well.
Yeah.
That we actually land, because
I know
that
last
means
one
that
went
by
well.
Jackson mass logic, the next
If you
one
would-
will be a catastrophe. But
If you would like an alternative that means that Jackson still has to land this thing and
No.
Aerie still gets what they want, I can do a flip and shit and get out the plane.
No.
And I'll just barrel on the ground.
oh, the wind could
I-
like catch you as it comes out of the thing.
I think so. The communication lines are kind of open, and it's less direct communication because this thing is unknowable and blah blah blah. But as Jackson swings back around it, and you're sort of, you're expecting to get that hit that like buff off the wind, it doesn't come. There will be no gust of wind this time, as you've effectively extended your safe passage and entry towards Jackson, and you are able to nose it down. You will be able to land. I am still going to get you to. This is going to be. I'm still going to get you to push the roll because you have recoil. However, a success will get it. So,
A regular
all right,
success.
Yeah,
That's
so
fair.
you'll just need to confirm it, basically.
That's entirely reasonable. All right. So I'm pushing the roll, but I only need a regular success.
Yep. Nice. Okay.
Oh.
You.
A hard success.
you
We
would've
could have
had it. You
avoided
would've
that
had it.
entire thing.
You
But-
will. Yeah. You,
But I
Now
got
this
to
is a
upset
good
Dave.
landing.
Why
and that's
would
a
we
win.
not want that?
I'm throwing someone out of a plane. You.
Tried.
Are you though?
You can try.
You threw an NPC out. That's enough.
I did.
That's all
That
you
was
get.
fine. That was what I got in the opening cutscene. Next time I'm opening cutscene and just chucking Jim out. All right. So you react to supernatural weather remarkably well, Dr. Sam, and immediately go, yes, I see what's happening here. And nose down.
Oh, yep. Never mind.
It's bumpy, and you sort of recoil off and stuff, but you are able to bring it to a park on like an edge. You can now scramble up and onto it. You are now parked. Leaving and getting to the cage will be a turn basically from each of you, and leaving is not a gimme. Again, you're going to need to, it's a takeoff thing, but you have proven to be a remarkably good pilot, so I'm sure things will pan out all right.
Stop.
So you have touchdown, and we go now to Hubert, who's having a little wrestle.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic. I want this to go well. I think so. I'm not going to be pulling any punches here, quite literally. As we get the gun out of the way, we fly into combat. I think that I had swung my walking staff like around my back probably. It's got one of those little leather straps while I was climbing. Hadn't had time to grab it. But now as we get into the fight, I'll swing it up and start using it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And if you are okay with this, Dave, I would like to be really ruthless. In the last session, the doc did a medical examination of this guy, and we know how his injury works. I would like to ruthlessly target his back and like be darting around and hitting the same points and just really like leaning into. I mean, literally, we know that the snake power is
Yeah,
giving him the
dude,
ability to
that
tense up his
rules.
muscles and stuff, and like. If you'll let me parlay that into giving me an edge, I'll
Yes.
take it. But I'm happy to just
Yes.
fighting brawl. I'm attacking.
That fully rules. Break his back. So go
If I
ahead
look at
and
Bane drops.
yeah,
this
that's
guy,
what I'm
I'll
hoping
be
for.
very-
Just go ahead and let's. I'm not gonna give you a bonus dice, but we'll just increase your damage because I think as you're targeting him, you're just gonna begin to just find those weak points and wail on him. But yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna riposte, so he doesn't realize how much trouble he's in. You go ahead and roll yours
would,
first and
wouldn't
decide
you?
if you want to spend any luck.
That is a success. At 56, I am going to need to spend 21 points of luck to get that to a hard. I have 20. I cannot.
Okay. What is your strategy? What are you going for? Is like the bear hug, you just being to squeeze his spine, throwing him against rocks, or?
I've got the stick. I think at this point it's I'm standing, and then whenever he comes at me, I kind of shove him away and whack him in the back with the stick. Like, I think I'm literally like jamming it into the square of his back where I know the injury is.
That's so good. This is kind of mean, Hubert. I don't think we've seen you this.
Yeah, I think
not against a human. You fought a snake guy, but this is.
I think this is a development that Hubert is not probably aware of at the time, because it just feels like a normal escalation to him. This guy did just shoot me unawares.
For sure.
But it definitely is an escalation. Hubert is usually a bit of a, like a soft-hearted guy. I suppose this shows, character development. Can we do that?
Yeah,
not in a good way.
Yeah,
character degeneration.
Awesome.
I don't know.
So, wheeling around this cave now, every time Henson lunges towards you, trying to size him, and then just slam the cane down in the square of his back, getting the point of it in between spine pieces or whatever, and jamming it down ruthlessly. Hubert continues his assault. I am gonna roll for Henson. He's going to riposte. So if he gets a hard, he does win this. His strategy for us, he is completely overconfident in his ability. He's getting under you, Hubert, and fully trying to lift you and slam you into things. And you're a big guy. This is a pretty terrible maneuver. All right. Just a success. And with yours, you are going to win that. Go ahead and let's increase your damage dice by what's your damage bonus? You a D6?
This is going to be a big hit. My walking staff is a large club. It's a D8 plus a D6. Hubert's very lethal in hand to hand.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that'd be a D12. I mean, I can go, or do you want me to just add +1 at the end or something?
Add a D4 to it. We'll just add an extra thing for basically finding the way when jamming into him. So it's at least.
You want to size up? It's a D8 for the club, so it'll be a D10.
No, sorry, we won't size up. God. We'll just add a D4 for simplicity.
My maths is bad. I can't count. All right, so all together, dancing around, smashing into Henson.
Ruthless, dude.
8 damage.
God damn.
So with the 5 before, that's a total of what? I can't
13
count as we
damage.
established. 13.
He is just still standing. So as he goes past you this time, trying to grab you, you get this huge hit, and you can hear something snap, and then suddenly he recoils backwards, and when he stands, his back has broken, and it's his tensed muscles holding him in place. So he wooden puppet swings around for a moment.
Oh, no.
And then you can hear something cracking and breaking inside of it. And then he throws himself forward towards you again. He is going to make another attack. This dude does not care.
Can I throw out one more thing?
Yes, please.
That sort of image probably breaks through to Hubert for a second, and he'll stop and say, "Good God, man, just give up." And then he comes at me, so I will riposte.
Hell yes. This gets into do you want to riposte with a persuade?
When to quit?
No, that's all right. I'll riposte with my walking staff.
Go for it.
Do you want me? Do I roll the riposte first, or are you going to roll the attack?
You roll first because you want to spend luck or anything.
Excellent. Riposting. That is a success. I will give you 2 points to make that a hard.
All right.
Actually, no. I will give you. I'm going to bump that to extreme.
Holy shit, dude!
I'm below the threshold for.
But you need 20 points to heal 1d6.
Yeah.
That'll keep you alive.
If I bump 2, I'm losing that as well.
Oh yeah, so you're.
Oh okay.
So
You may as well.
I'm going to lose the ability to heal to make this.
23 points.
Yeah. Basically, spend as much as I can to make the one thing
I
that I'm
see to
spending
guarantee
it on
this. All right. So only an extreme
he
will
doesn't get
hit
an
you
extreme.
here. He lunges forward.
Yep.
You can hear the cracking and creaking as his jagged spine disconnects. This dude is dying one way or the other. Okay, all right. Any damage you do will finish him off. Jim, describe away. He is dead.
I lucked it to an extreme, so it's a brutal thing. I think it's exactly that. Throw the thing aside. He comes. I pick him up this time, and I will. It feels a lot less good. Bane drop him on my knee, and then throw him off and watch him tumble down the rocks.
Bane drop him.
Awesome. All right, fully break his back. You hear the crack of everything, and then just toss him. Again, you're a huge dude. Like, you just throw this guy like he's nothing. He gets barreled out from it. The wind ignores him. He slams onto the edge, slithers across it, and then Crumb goes flying back. And Carter and Sam, as you're making your ascent, you will see the body of George Henson broken in half, ragdolling down the side of the ravine. As we go deeper into the cave to Minnie. You broke the egg on him, and as you recoil backwards, you can see that the face of it is broken. The back where you were holding is also like chipped and broken, and inside there's something black and writhing, wriggling around underneath a thin membrane and with like oil ichor leaking out from it. The Reverend is like holding his hand out, and he's going, no, you don't know what you're doing. That was a gift to me. To give it back is impossible. Minnie, don't do this. And the sheriff, having recoiled from it, holding his nose, going, you fucking bitch. And he's gonna lunge forward at you again soon.
Well, I'm going to give the sheriff the finger.
Priorities.
Football spike.
Nice.
No roll needed. You spike it down into the ground, and where it impacts and cracks open, you can see like this black cephalopod thing with each of its coils are scaled and serpentine, and they're sort of wriggling around, and at its heart, at its center, where there might be a knotted mass or a, the bulge on an octopus, is instead a single, hand, or, beginning to turn into the forearm, and it is fully formed. It isn't infantile, it's like an adult's hand that then leaks out into all of these, wriggling bits. And as it splatters, you can then follow it up with just a kick down on it, and this thing is...
yeah, that's what I was going to say, is if this thing looks viable, I'm stepping on it.
Oh, yeah. And it just gets flattened underneath, ground under the boot, and taken to pieces. The Reverend, who's acting next, steps back, and he's looking around the cave, and he's going, you don't know what you've done. That was mine, given to me by something that's here with us. Sister, you accepted that gift. It'll be taken from you too.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Cool story, bro.
Okay.
He is basically stunned and not acting. The sheriff looks as though he is going to. What are you doing? Are you returning the way you came? Okay.
Yes. Your broadcast reached too far.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to leave. Okay. Broadcast reached too far.
And you head to the crawl and begin to squeeze your way through it. We are going to go, so as you begin to crawl through this gap in the rock, the sheriff is following after you. At the top, it's going to be Carter, who you can use your full basically to arrive to Hubert, and Sam, you can follow on yours unless there's anything else the two of you would like to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Hubert.
Full movement. If the furthest we can get is Hubert, then yes.
Yes, that will get you to the
Hubert's
cave.
coming out. Is Hubert coming out to meet us?
Or is he going further in?
I see you coming up over the ridge. I presume I'll help you up a bit and go, oh, thank God. And the fight kind of goes out of me a bit. I'll sag down, start kind of holding my shot back and point. Minnie's inside. I have to fight off Henson.
Sam, you help Hubert. I'll go and help Sinclair.
Patch him up. Have I got time in my turn to patch him up?
So, yeah, I think so. As the two of you arrive and Hubert's taking a moment, Sam, you head over and give me a first aid roll for Hubert, please.
I'm happy to also say, Sam, you go in. I'll be okay until you get back out.
No.
Okay.
I feel like there was also absolutely... Mr. Smith, sit down.
His dice aren't behaving.
Buddy.
Please. I have to check. Just remind me how much first aid does. Is it 1d4?
I think it's a d4 in pulp.
And then 1 or 2 in
first aid 1d4, yeah. Well, I don't really want to waste time because someone else may need some medical attention.
Just go in. I'll wait till you get back out. Minnie
Hubert,
might need
I
you.
believe there's stuff about repeated rolls. I think you might need to push this, or when you roll again, it will be functionally pushing it anyway.
I got 10 points of luck to spare.
Okay.
Yeah. Hubert, thank you for your opinion, but my medical opinion outranks yours. Sit down
All right.
and bandage him up. Do you want 1d4?
I'll take it.
Yes, please.
Do you want to roll? Do you want me to roll?
Oh, you go ahead. You're the doctor.
So that's the letter D.
This is the statement.
Letter number
D4.
4.
Okay. So I'm gonna add a D to my hit points and then a 4.
Damn it! Just the one.
No. Okay. All right. Well, everything's better than
Put a
nothing.
band-aid on the bullet wound.
You've been shot. All right. So
it
as
appears you've been shot.
you're
Give
patching,
him a t-shirt.
as
I got shot and all I got this lousy t-shirt. And it soaks up some of the blood. And
possibly
that's
could
it.
use a change of clothes. So as you're patching up Hubert and you're all like in the thing, and Carter's heading across towards the connecting bit, you see Minnie pulling her way out. And Minnie, you're just squeezing your way through to the final point to reach out to Carter. You reach out to say something or whatever. When suddenly, Carter, you see from the back a hand lunge forward, grab Minnie's hair, and slam her into the rock. This is the sheriff's attack. Would you like to dodge or riposte? And he is going to fully
Dodge.
pull you back through the ravine, dragging you on the side of it, and no one else can get through at the moment as you squeeze past.
Dodge.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make a dodge roll.
Brutal.
Am I
Good,
close enough to
finally.
put a hand out so she can grab or no?
On your turn, you can try and wrestle out, but for the moment, it's all Minnie. All right. I'm gonna roll my attack. Okay. That's going to be 4 points of
Good,
damage.
I'm taking damage.
And you are grabbed by the hair and slammed into the rock. And you can just be hit like
That's
right,
not so
and then
bad.
he's beginning
I
to
say
try and
something very unladylike.
just try and wrench you back through it. Now, functionally, let's not spread too much. I'm basically going to jam the sheriff and the reverend, and then so all of you now have an action to take. What would you each like to do?
Can I see the sheriff behind Minnie's diminutive frame?
Yeah.
Yes, you probably would actually. He is a larger figure, and especially there's edges. It's hard to get to, but you can see him. It'll be a penalty.
Right, is he within point blank range?
He is.
Great. And
Point blank?
I'm going to put my hands over my ears. Minnie sees Carter with a gun and just goes, I'm going to block my ears.
well, you wouldn't even necessarily
Eyes.
see the gun. It's just so much like you see me reaching and you're like, I know what's about to happen.
Block my ears.
I assume I'm going to get a disadvantage or a penalty on this roll because I'm trying to not shoot Minnie, but I'm hoping that the point
Yes.
blank gives me advantage. So it's a straight roll.
Yes.
Minnie, I'm really sorry if I fumble.
No,
this will
block
hurt.
my ears. Just
pack,
immediately,
pack.
just boop.
You're doing 3
If
shots,
I
Carter?
fumble, this might hurt you. So I'm sorry, but also
Would expect nothing less.
very good. I think I would also like very quickly make eye contact with you, and we'd probably be able to be like,
We do that. Yeah.
great,
Didn't know.
Lieutenant Carter doesn't.
Informed consent.
hard success.
Nice. All right, go ahead and roll your damage.
Do I want to make that an extreme? I should have. Yeah, okay. I should have rolled that with thing, shouldn't I? With the combat tab.
Mm.
Keep
Oh,
forgetting
very
we've got extra
Well,
tabs.
no, because then you'd see the damage before you decide to make it extreme or not.
Also,
That's very true.
He's not.
How much is it? 33 minus 14. 19 points of luck.
6, 9, yeah.
Will take me down to 58.
Heaps, mate. Heaps.
That's very true. It is heaps.
That's heaps, mate.
You want to explode him.
I do. You may have my 19 points of luck
My wet bag boy.
because I had
Good
so
call.
much, and I feel like Carter shouldn't be this lucky all the time.
Okay. What's,
Lovely. Yeah,
how
so I'm going to
much-
make
how
that an
much damage is
extreme.
that?
So it's going to
that's
be.
the full value plus it again. Plus the rock dice roll. So what does this do? A D10?
It does 1d10 plus 1, so I'm
Hot
going to roll
dog.
1d10
Plus
plus
11.
12. Because 11 is what I get for the first roll, and then I get to do 1d10 plus 1 again. So
No,
it'll
you
be
just
1d10.
the D10. You don't have the plus 1 on the second one.
Don't?
Pretty sure.
Then what's the point?
The every other time it gives plus 1.
I thought it was max damage, and then you roll again.
You do.
Just-
you roll the
just-
dice.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's one
I'm
point.
pretty
Dave.
sure he's dead.
David's 1 point.
I will be dead in the
18
ground
points
before
of
you
damage.
get that point. Holy shit. He's dead.
Is he dead?
Yes, there is egg on
in
his
the ground.
face.
There is just a look at Minnie, pull out the gun, take like a breath in, and in the back of my, under my breath, I just say, "You really need to pick better followers," and I'm just going to shoot him in the face.
He gets... Oh, this rules. His head explodes, and he crumples away from Minnie, twists, and is wedged in the ravine so that the Reverend cannot get out easily. And Minnie comes through the other side, and as
That's so good.
as he's dead now, you can just make out on the other side of the body weeping from the Reverend, who's going, You don't know what you've done. I can feel it's cold, and I'm so hungry. I've never been so hungry. What are the four of you doing?
That does sound like a you problem.
I cracked his egg. The dream egg, real egg.
Oh, that is interesting.
Who else
No
is
egg.
in the cave? Did anyone else come on the expedition? Was it just
No one else
Reverend
alive.
Sheriff Minnie?
Henson,
we,
who got chucked off the edge by Hubert.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
no, it's everyone.
there was Henson who had a gun, and I heard a shot. And but that looks bad.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got a band-aid.
Where is he? Where's George?
He's not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
He
okay.
rolled down a ravine. Sorry, excuse me, Reverend. Just because we like to keep our
Yes.
report notes nice and clean. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Muffled and echoed from the other side, you can hear him, what sounds like he's wetly sopping together the portions of the broken egg, and then there's like as he's depositing it back in the cavity.
Back into
From the other side. He is not immediately open to discussion. He seems to be shuddering and
busy.
sobbing. Do you want to go ahead and give me an intimidation roll card to kind of snap his ass out of it?
I'll follow up with something depending on the outcome of this intimidation.
Did you
I
want
also have a plan.
I'm going
is there
to
a
take it.
tandem thing you want to
Hit
do,
me.
or are you
Yeah,
happy
yeah,
to?
just
No. I step aside until the end.
Okay. Intimidation. Hard
Nice.
success.
I'll do it. So say, who is he? And he says, and you can hear him from the other side, kind of almost as much just surrender himself. He says, "A good man. I am a good man. This was a gift not just for me, but for the town. I was helping people and you've ruined it."
No, you were torturing people and mutilating them and making their lives worse under the guise of saving them under the name of the Lord, which, I'm going to be completely frank with you, Reverend, you are not dealing with the Lord.
No,
So you are, in fact, according to your own tenets, a very wicked man indeed.
There's rapid slapping footsteps as he comes sprinting to the thing, wedges against the body of his brutalized disciple, and as this man whose like skin is sloughing off and is janithing, the Reverend like leans a hand out over him and he says, "I gave gifts to no one that didn't want them. Everyone asked and everyone appreciated what they were given. They knew that this was the Lord's work. They knew that he had offered them the solutions to their problems. He only worked through me."
You lied to them, Reverend. You offered them gifts from the Lord, and you did not tell them what they were receiving. You waited for them to come here and hear the voice of Yig, who is not God.
You sold them on the wrong deity, man. You can't. You lied to them. These were
is
good
God.
God-fearing folk,
This
and
is-
they may not be my folk, but these are good God-fearing folk, and you deceived them.
Who are you to interpret God's word? This is him. I feel him in this room still.
Do you?
I feel him in these
Really?
walls.
You feel him?
Who else has this power?
Still?
Who else has this power to bring back the dead like his own son? To heal the lame and the wounded, to fix maladies, to bring back
Can I-
prosperity to an abandoned town. Who else but his power could do that?
The good people of the
Still
town could do that themselves with truth and good leadership, which you did not offer them. You offered them lies. in the style of hope, when you could have offered them real hope and kindness.
Real
care.
hope. I have been in this town since I was born. I have seen it fade to dust. You think we didn't try? You think I didn't offer them hope? I have worked for them for years, and I sacrificed everything. I came out here into the desert. I brought nothing. I trusted myself to God, and I said, when I am reborn, if I am reborn, I will do whatever I need to do to save these people who have been abandoned by everyone else. And now you come here, you wicked four, you demons.
That's the one.
Reverend,
Look, whatever. He's not going to be. He's not going to listen to reason. I'm just interested that he can still hear. Are you sure he's there with you? With you in particular, or just there? Because I don't think he's with you anymore.
He might listen to. We can ask him, but first, just Reverend, listen. When God and angels appear before people, they are sore afraid. That's the interpretation you believe, right? That's the quoting of the scriptures. Are you afraid of this? Sounds like you love it. People don't tend to. The things they love tend to be serpents in disguise. Could I try to convince him that he has been waylaying?
The scripture is basically, this is the whole point, right? As if it's too good to be true.
It's probably too good to be true.
Make
You're tempted by the serpent.
Make a persuasion roll and take a bonus dice for everyone's assistance throughout the scene.
Extreme success.
Oh, buddy.
Nice.
You're my man.
He pauses.
Big yes. You got this.
And Hubert just dominating that side of the cave, like complete, shuttering the light. As you can kind of, you take a step back after delivering the line, and just enough of the now lowering sun to catch the Reverend full in the face, leaned out over the body of his ruined disciple. And you can see him pause for so long, and in that silence, he hears nothing. No whispering. Silence. And
Would God abandon you so quickly? If it really were God?
What have I done?
Let's get this body out of the way and try and get him out of here. I think we should have a few conversations.
What?
Dr. Sam?
If that wasn't God.
What was it?
Oh, something so much worse.
I think
more complicated. It's a little more complicated than that, but it wasn't God. Let's just leave it as
Sam,
that.
you want to say something?
I was just going to say Dr. Sam's remained silent in this conversation up till now, because I'm hoping he's been having a chat with the voice of the cave, because we're talking about it when it's here, and that seems a bit rude.
And you did say that you just needed more info.
If
That's
the voice
right.
is still there and wasn't shut off when the egg got smashed.
So
That's true. I did kind of fuck that up.
Carter, in the silence, no one hears anything except Carter. You very slightly have it on the edge. You also, Carter, when you got that, you extremed your power roll. You get the impression that all-encompassing, all power, blah, blah, blah. This is like a tendril spread through the cosmos to find, to impart itself on this area. This is not this is not... Yig is not in this room, There was its eye was turned here for a moment, and it seems to have part of the whole blessing, curse, whatever that was here, that was tied to the Reverend, and the ability and the gift does seem to have been broken. No one else will find this cave again and take the power from it.
Sorry, so you...
But
please continue.
Lieutenant Carter, you have some seed has been planted in your mind that now travels with you.
Oh, good. But your words exactly there was some curse, some spell has been broken.
Yes. There is silence
so
at the end of this.
That...
Yes, and the wind does not blow. This place feels empty and
cool.
cold.
I will turn immediately to Sam then and say, Sam, I think we need to get back to town very quickly. Something potentially quite bad might have happened. And I'm not going to tell you how or why I think I know this, but I have a feeling a lot of people are suddenly going to be waking up from a very bad dream. And some of their companions might be dead.
I broke the egg. Yig's not here.
What is it?
There are a lot of people in town that receive gifts that may not be...
They don't exist anymore.
Gifts anymore.
I can make it back on foot. Sam, you need to go in the plane, and we can the two of you both fit in? I'll take the Reverend back. We'll walk across the desert. We can have a long talk.
If I could possibly go with Sam, what's my first aid is not too bad, but I would like to go with Sam. I don't know if I can do that walk again.
Yeah, I any way that all three of you could fit in. Otherwise, Aries, you come with me.
I'm happy to walk back with the Reverend with you.
Minnie's quite small.
I'm not comfortable with Hubert going on his own in his state.
Right.
All right. Let's. Yeah.
I'll go with Hubert. Sam.
I'll go with Sam.
Please take Miss Sinclair back with you, and Mr. Smith and I will accompany the good Reverend, who I think perhaps will need some.
I don't think it's going to be terribly hard to get him past the sheriff. By this point, the sheriff's the internal weight and the skin. He's sliding down.
It's not a pretty sight. He could get it will be disgusting, but he possibly with help he could. You guys could also get him out. As you're talking and you're like, Minnie's like, I'm going in the plane. The Reverend will try and he's holding out his hand towards you a bit, Minnie, and he's going, sister, was
not your sister.
None of this real? Do you?
Oh, it was real. It just wasn't God.
We came here because we heard a lot of God-fearing people were being potentially manipulated by something. So while you might not... We are here to help, even though it doesn't currently seem like that. And Mr. Smith here is going to have a nice conversation with you about scripture on the walk back.
He's much better at it than we are.
When we get back to town, we're going to do our best to assist you to right any of the wrongs that have happened during this time to the best of our ability, but eventually you are going to have to face what you have done. We cannot help you with that, but we can at least get you started on the right path.
Is there no hope for places like these?
Oh, well.
If God won't answer...
It's a funny thing.
If
Reverend,
this is what comes in his guise, are we just abandoned?
Reverend, I have been to many places in the world where I thought God's eye did not turn. Places where men, women, and children were brutally mowed down by people who were ostensibly just doing a job. And those people who were mowed down were ostensibly doing their job. There are plenty of unpleasant places in the world. I'm not much for scripture, but if I remember one thing, it's that faith in God is not dependent on whether or not your life is good or bad. Faith in God is dependent whether you believe in him, whether your life is bad or good or not. Faith is your hope. And you have ample faith, that is clear. Not every calamity, not every battle site stays that way forever. Eventually, the flowers do come back.
Fuck yeah. So, as we kind of step away a little bit, the intent is for Hubert, Aries, and the Reverend to walk back. Sam and Minnie will fly. If you guys go directly back, Sam and Minnie, you guys will be back in an hour or so. The rest of you, it's going to be basically, it's like you will be arriving in the night quite late.
Can we use, given that Lancet did follow us the whole time, can we use Lancet to help guide the party on foot back so we don't have to worry about tracking and things like that?
Yes, you're not worried about tracking. And also the Reverend can guide you. He does know the path.
Alternatively, what I was thinking is, my first aid is Sam is the doctor. Once we're dropped, I can maybe grab some horses
I was
and
thinking
Lancet
exactly
can
the
guide me out to them, and I can grab 3 horses
That's not
and
a
one for
crazy
myself,
idea.
and with
Yep.
water and supplies, and just
Yeah.
That's
do
the other
the
thing, 'cause
track again.
there's
but-
no supplies either. Like this is gonna
Exactly.
be tough getting back as well. One other thing
So
as
if
well.
I can go back within the hour and then come back out on horseback with supplies and collect them,
And more
kinda
horses.
caravan style, yeah, and more horses and collect them caravan style.
That's a
That's
great
the
idea.
ticket.
That 100% works. The only other thing, just one other little question: the Reverend is going to want to bury the bodies of both Henson and the sheriff.
Well, hey, look,
We can do
it's
that another day.
outside.
It's the desert.
He's fairly determined
It's fine.
on this, to the
It's
point that
fine.
he will say, "You leave me, and I'll do it."
Look, if it's still hot outside, maybe you just want to wait in the cave.
We did have enough rations, at least we did have extra
You brought
rations. We
rations?
knew that so in the plane there should be at least some.
Oh yeah, unload.
So we
stuff
can
on the
leave some
plane.
stuff with you guys
Yeah,
to get
so
started,
we'll have
and
some
I'll say, look, I'll fine, I'll bring a shovel.
I'm happy to lend my strength. I'm assuming Hubert is as well, to make it a relatively quick effort to bury these, and then we can start.
Okay, so
I don't think we need to be crueler to this man than we already have, given what he's been through.
So the Reverend will be you'll pull the body of the sheriff out. It is a mess. And you'll gather the body of Henson. Dr. Sam and Minnie unload the plane of some crucial supplies, and all of you, drink deeply water and take some simple breads, and then set to digging while the
Sam and I will push off.
fly back.
Did Carter take any damage?
Oh, I took a little bit, but I only.
I was just
Do you
doing
want to do a
like
first aid
4.
roll? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was just to say,
I can do first aid as well.
You
do
can
wanna
do it
ticket
before
this
you
chapter?
leave, Sam, if you want.
Because I haven't ticked this chapter.
Oh no, I'm fine
I
if
want
you
a
want to.
ticket.
Yeah, go for it. You're
Well,
the
unless you
doctor.
want a ticket. You want to? I got 85.
I got all
wanna
of
get a
my
tick.
shooty and personability skills. We're fine. You do what
Alright.
you need to do.
I'll go for a tick.
Fumble. Oh,
You're
maybe.
much. I only have 43 in it, so if I fumble, is dead.
Minnie, you can heal 4 then. We'll just max it.
Good, back up to
1d4?
full.
No, just take a full 4. Oh, it rolled that anyway.
Well, yeah.
Well, I rolled the 4 anyway.
Hey,
So it's all in
Back
the
up to full. Thank you. Thank you for patching
My
that.
pleasure.
Very nice.
Patching that up.
Alright. In the plane.
Then Sam and Minnie depart. You fly
And
back,
I'll be back.
through the sun. It's still evening. It's still hot, and touch back down in the village. Is there anything you want to do beyond getting horses?
No, my goal is to kind of get back to the
Just get
the
moving.
desert crew
Get
as quick
moving.
as possible with its good supplies, and just make sure they're not out there on their own for too long.
Okay. I am gonna need a credit rating roll from one of you. You don't have Hubert's sort of wealth to rely on, and this is sort of quick turnaround. How fast can you get going? You'll find someone, but they'll be like, yeah, come out and I'll show it to you on the farm. Like it's how quickly can you guys get up and
Credit rating 40.
You do it.
I'll do it. All right.
I'm a recently graduated student and a scholar.
I don't got that money.
I
I'm
will.
broke.
I will get some horses in the fastest method possible, which is probably splashing cash rather than spinning a sob story.
Oh yeah.
It's probably going to be faster.
Dollars
So here it
talk,
comes.
especially here.
Nah. Oh, fumbled it. Beautiful.
Oh, nicely done.
Okay, this actually works quite well. This sets me up.
Does it, Dave?
I think
Does
this
it?
does. I think this does. So
Oh no, it does.
I think this
It's a
does.
fumble.
So
We're helping the town.
It's a fumble.
no. So Hubert and Carter read the bodies and then set out as per the plan, with the intent of you guys rallying some horses and things and setting out after them. When you go to buy horses, there aren't any available, and what you learn is that they were
We're sons of
taken
bitches.
already by
Right.
a pair of brothers who bought them as well as some additional provisions and weapons and set out into the desert after the Reverend's party about
What?
earlier today.
What?
And they're somewhere out
But
there
they
now
never
hunting the Reverend. And we're going to leave things there
no.
because this chapter isn't over and you guys are
Huh.
hurt.
Hell yeah! Well,
I
I'm
thought-
fine with Ares.
Chapter
Hubert's
was
hurt.
over.
except Carter. All right.
Yeah, look.
Hubert's hurt.
I feel like out
Oh,
of
yeah, well.
those two and me, my money's still on me
Mm-hmm.
for at least a little while.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Let's
I'm
see
pretty
who
sure
gets the drop
only-
on who.
Only one of us has a god on their side.
Fuck yeah. All right. Okay. We are going to leave things there and we'll pick up next week. So thank you guys for playing and all the ridiculous things we did. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back next week. Shame time, a shame place. We hope we will see you then. Catch ya.
Me too.